Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on what part of the world you're in. I'm going to check to see if YouTube is caught up yet. Do apologise if an advert plays. I don't know how to switch it off, to be honest. But let me know, guys, if you can hear me loud and clear. Give me a comment in the comments there. Say you can hear me. Let me know you can hear me. That's the thing I was after. What I wanted to make sure that you guys could hear me. Dave says, got you. So that's good. Now, I don't know whether any of you know, but I'm going to tell you something that's a little bit of a secret. Not a big secret, but a little bit of a secret. And you may or may not know. My wife is expecting our third baby. And it's going to... The young lady, it's a baby girl, and everything is good. And she's going to be with us next Friday because my wife has got booked in a C-section for her. That's what they've done. So we're going to have our third baby on next Friday, and I'll be 60. I'm 59 now. I'll be 60, almost 60. I'm 60 on the 4th of July. So I've got to be crackers, haven't I? I've got to be crackers to have another one when I'm approaching 60. But there you go. I love it. I'd have 20 kids if I could do, if the great Lord above would allow me to. But I think 60's enough. So 3's enough. Well, 4 actually. So there is enough for now. Right, so what am I going to show you today in this broadcast is I think I'm going to blow your socks off, because I think you're going to be very, very surprised, because a lot of people ask me the same question over and over and over again. And it's this question keeps popping up. People comment on my YouTube videos, send me private messages on Facebook, comment on my Facebook posts, comment on my TikTok videos that I upload. Yeah, I'm on TikTok now, believe it or not. And that question is how much do I need to invest? How much money do I need to have to make $100 a day, or $50 a day, $1,000 a month, or $500 a month? And it's a very, very hard question. And I'm not trying to skip round it, because it is a hard question. And I'll tell you that one of the reasons why is, I don't know whether you're aware, if you go over to, I think, CoinMarketCap, and if you look, let me just get it up and then I'll tell you what it is. I'll share my screen. Let's see where the screen share is. Always get where this is. Presentation. There you go. Share screen. And I'll go with entire screen. That's it there. Share. Right. So I'm going to go over to CoinMarketCap. And I don't know. Let's see, because I haven't looked at this site for such a long time. Is somewhere on here is we got, look, cryptos, 2.4 million. I'll say that again, 2.4 million. I can't believe that, to be honest, but 2.4 million cryptocurrencies in circulation. Now, JonnyBlockchain obviously doesn't trade that many, but if we look just down the top sort of few hundred here, you know, obviously Bitcoin, Ethereum, what would you bet on? You know, what would you say is in percentage wise? I don't mean money wise. I mean, in percentage wise, is Bitcoin going to go up more than, say, BNB, or is BNB going to go up more than XRP? And if we go to Crypto Bubble, and we go to never work with children and animals in the internet. Let's try again. CRY. There we go. Crypto Bubble. So if we go to Crypto Bubble, that's my favorites. Let's just go to the top 100. Look at these coins, okay? So we got this coin here. Look, this is, if I click on this one, I don't know what it is. Oh, Tron. So this has gone up by 2.1% in a week. It's going down today, gone down the last hour. And then if I look at this coin, Brett, this one has gone up 44% in a week. So we go to Tron, it's gone up 2.1, and we go to Brett, and it's gone up by 44. So if I get my calculator, and we do a simple bit of maths here, and we do $100, and we times it by 44.2% and equals that up, you would have made $44, wouldn't you? If you was trading this, if you were buying this and doing it yourself manually, you'd have made $44 if you'd have bought that coin a week ago. And if we do the Tron one, and we see what that is, this is 2.1%. So we'll times that by 2.1%. You would have made $2.10 to opposed to $44. So you can see it's very hard for somebody to say, well, this is how much you're going to make if you trade this amount. If you trade $100, this is exactly how much you're going to make. Well, if we go here now, if we come from the favorites and we go to Binance, this is probably the easiest. They don't list Pancake on here. Unfortunately, they only list centralized exchanges, but we'll go to Binance. And if I look again on Binance now, so all of these tokens that you can see on the screen here is tradable with JonnyBlockchain, because, we pick up new coins that come through the API list. If they're available in your jurisdiction, you'll be able to trade them. So let's just choose a token. Let's just choose this one. So let's say that you were trading this one. So this coin has actually gone down in the month, 5.8%. So if you were trading that one, your bot wouldn't have made any money, would it? It would have been struggling to make money because the coin keeps going down. But if you'd have traded this one, which is because this one here, this Contacento, this has gone up by 12.5% in a month. And then if we look at this one over here, People Token, that's gone up by 360% in a month. So it's very hard for someone to tell you, with their hand on their heart and to say to you, I'll stop the presentation. It's very hard for someone to tell you how much you need to make $100 a day, or $200 a day, or $500 a day. Now, there's a lot of scam sites out there. There's tons of them. And I've been in these sites myself. I've even promoted some of these sites over the years. But there's one thing they all have in common. Well, there's two things, actually. The first thing is they feed you buffalo dust that they're going to guarantee you a fixed rate every day, which as soon as you see that guaranteed fixed rate, it should have a red flag for you, because nobody can guarantee you a fixed rate when it comes to trading. Just can't be done, because we don't know what's going to happen with the market tomorrow, let alone what's going to happen in an hour's time. Crazy things can happen in the world. There could be Russia declares war on America. What would happen to the financial markets if that was the case? What happens if China decided to go to war with the UK or Australia or Canada or any other country for that matter? The financial markets would go into turmoil, wouldn't they? Whether it be, the S&P 500, that's your Forex side of things, or whether it be crypto. Everything regarding cryptocurrencies or anything to do with trading, whether it be fiat trading, your dollars, your pounds, your euros, and all that type of stuff, or crypto trading, or gold, or oil, is all dependent what goes on around the world. So nobody can say with their hand on their heart they're giving you a fixed rate. Okay, total buffalo dust. The other thing that that these sites have in common is that they eventually run out of money and they rug pull. They disappear. I've been in them. I've been in these sites. I was in a business called Bruxis, and I earned a lot of money from that. I put in a lot of dough, and they were giving me 3.1% a day. 6 months went by. I was one of the lucky ones that, because I didn't leave my money. You have to give them your money. And I drew out my earnings every day. And after 21 days, I would be breaking even. Well, I was in it for about 3 months. So I was well over the 21 days. But some people just compounded and compounded and compounded. I was in ITP Pro. Again, they said there was an app that you went in and clicked this button 5 times a day and it would start the trading robot that did arbitrage. They went out of business. All of these sites have one thing, these 2 things in common. They give you a buffalo dust that they're going to give you a fixed ROI. And the second thing is they go out of business and the site disappears. Now, JonnyBlockchain has gone through a lot of changes over the course of 9 years. Okay, JonnyBlockchain has been around for 9 years. Now, before we did the trading that we do today, we did another type of trading, which was arbitrage. But we found it was a nightmare. We also we had a mining farm, but then the energy costs went up, and we just couldn't make a profit with the mining farm. So we had to get rid of that. We moved over to China, and what did China do? They turned around and said, we're not allowing crypto mining. So we were left with up the creek without a paddle. But we always kept on trying to develop our trading side. Now, we first started off on centralized exchanges. And we was on HitBTC, OKX, I forget, there was Binance. I forget there was about 21 centralized exchanges that we were on. Cryptopia was one of them. Cryptopia went out of business, went into liquidation. I lost a lot of money. FTX went out of business, went into liquidation. So centralized exchanges were very, very dangerous. And I see a post recently inside the group where somebody said that there's a new law coming out. I forget what it's called. Maybe I can find it on the Telegram chat there. But there's a new law coming out where they're going to start limiting or restricting what stable coins can be traded on Binance. Now, Binance put out a statement saying that, you can still use the Tether. Here it is. I've got it here. So let me just share my screen and then I'll get this up. This is the best thing. Presentation, share screen. Sorry to talk you through it, but entire screen. There you go. Share that. And let's go back to Telegram. So this is the post. Okay. So this is what Binance said. We are writing to clarify that the new MiCA stablecoin rule that comes into effect on the 30th of June, so not far away now, 2024. From this date, stable coins in the EEA will be regulated. See, the authorities don't like anything to do with crypto, do they? They're going to be regulated. Certain containing existing stable coins may not fall into this category. These stable coins include Tether and others. And it goes on to say that, Tether is still available for spot trading, which is what JonnyBlockchain does, deposits and withdrawals. So as you can see there, stop sharing. As you can see there, regulations can have a big part to play on centralized exchanges. So we put our thoughts towards decentralized. So we built our first robot on Uniswap. Some of you may be aware of that. We've got Uniswap in the back office, but the problem is with Uniswap, most of the liquidity pools are on the Ethereum blockchain, which means high trading fees, which means, high blockchain fees. And that means the price of the coin's got to go up a lot more to cover those fees. So we decided to go for PancakeSwap on the Binance Smart Chain. Now, the problem was that Binance Smart Chain or PancakeSwap never had any documentation that you could read to build a trading robot to tell you how a trading robot would interact with their liquidity pool. So we had to do it on Uniswap with Ethereum, believe it or not. And then once we built it on Ethereum, because Binance Smart Chain is a fork of Ethereum. So once it was done on Ethereum, it's the same code. We just then copied it over for Binance. We tested it on Binance Smart Chain. We tested it on Uniswap. But as I say, there's very, very little liquidity, and not many people use Binance Smart Chain on Uniswap. So PancakeSwap is where we wanted to be. So what we did, we just stabbed in the dark and deployed our trading robots to look at liquidity pools on PancakeSwap for V2. And they're very successful. They work. And so now we've got centralized exchange, Binance.com and Binance.us, and we've got PancakeSwap trading robots that work via your MetaMask wallet, and also you can trade with Uniswap. But really, Uniswap, I think, is a bit of a waste of time because, as I say, the liquidity pool. So it's really PancakeSwap. So now I suppose our next goal would be to add new blockchains. We don't really want to add more centralized exchanges, do we? We want to move away from centralized exchanges. We put them in place because some people like them, and they think that their funds are safe on these centralized exchanges like Binance. But not your keys, not your tokens, are they? They're not your coins. And if some government turned around tomorrow, they just put these the ex-CEO of Binance, put him in prison. He's in prison now, I think, for 4 months. Not a big deal, but he's in prison for 4 months. He's had his liberties taken away because they say he was misleading people and he was doing whatever he was doing. But I don't believe anybody got hurt using Binance because, you trade cryptocurrencies, and if you buy a coin that goes up in value, you've made money. If you buy a coin that goes down in value, you've lost money, But that's nothing to do with Binance, is it? And likewise, if you trade a token on PancakeSwap, even if the liquidity pool's locked, because we like to add coins that have got the liquidity pool locked. And some people, we had one person that said it was our responsibility not to add a coin that got rug pulled. Now, can you believe that? Now, this person sent in a support ticket saying, I want a refund because one of the tokens that I was trading, the liquidity was removed from Pancake, and I got to take responsibility. Now, this person made a profit overall. One of his bots or her bots, one of her bots lost the liquidity. So they had $20 worth. They had one trade in. They had $20 in there. So they lost that $20 because there was only a $1 liquidity left. But they'd made $40 odd on their other trading robots. So in theory, they're actually up $19, aren't they? Or $21 they're up. So if you trade a token and the liquidity gets removed, even if the liquidity is locked, it could still be removed. But how can it be removed? Well, it's obvious. The easiest way for you to look at it is if you understand liquidity pools, it's like 2 buckets. So if we say there's one bucket that's got marbles in it, and we'll call that the token marble, and we say the other bucket has got dollars in it. So when they launch the coin, they put some dollars in and they put some marbles in these 2 separate buckets. And they say, we're going to lock it up. So we cannot take our dollars back out. But it's not true. If the admin hold a load more marbles, they can let you trade backwards and forwards, because every time you put in dollars and take out marbles out of the other bucket, there's less marbles, more dollars. So that means the price of the marbles go up, supply and demand. If people put back more marbles than what was originally in there, then you've got more marbles and they take out dollars. The dollars go down. That means that the price of the marbles go down, because there's more marbles than what there was before. Now, if the admin have a secret wallet, which they try to keep, they've split it across multiple wallets because they do these airdrops, but they own all these wallets that they've done the airdrop for. They sit with them in different little wallets, hundreds of wallets. It's so easy for them to set up hundreds of wallets. They get robots to do it, and they do an airdrop. Everybody gets their airdrop. The other people that didn't get their airdrop start to buy tokens on their pre-sale, and then when it goes to trade, the price starts to go up. Now, the admin, what they can do is put in dollars to push the price up. So people start buying the marbles, pushing the price up, and then what they've got is they've got all these wallets with all these marbles sitting in it. And what they decide to do is to dump them onto the market simultaneously. And they pop them onto the market. And what they're doing is they're putting in the marbles that they hold and taking out your dollars. And eventually they could take it so there's no dollars left in the liquidity pool, even though the liquidity pool was locked. It means that the admin wallet cannot withdraw the dollars out, but any other wallet can if they've got marbles to put in it. So that's how a rug pull can be done on a locked liquidity pool. So it doesn't mean to say it's safe. And the same, so there's pros and cons of using a centralized exchange and a decentralized exchange. The centralized exchange are under a lot of regulation, and they could just sort of freeze your account and say, you've got to answer some questions, blah, blah, blah. You've got to fill out a tax return, God knows what else. And they can lock up your account. Or the government could just come in and take over them and take your money, and then, or they can go into bankruptcy because they've overtraded or they've spent the money, they've had a run on the bank, so to speak, where people's tried to withdraw and they haven't got the money to pay them and they're going to receivership and you lose your money. Now, with a decentralized exchange, you haven't got that middleman. But what you have got is a lot of skullduggery type of people out there that will do the story that I just told you. Now, so there's risks on both of them. But the thing that I like about decentralized is that I don't have to give my funds to anybody. I'm not giving it to a third-party website that are going to trade for me on my behalf. You keep your funds inside your MetaMask wallet, and the smart contract does the trading for you. That smart contract cannot withdraw your funds and send them to another wallet. That smart contract only interacts with your wallet and the liquidity pool on PancakeSwap, just like you would be doing yourself. When you go to PancakeSwap and you do a swap or a trade, whichever you want to call it, or an exchange, you connect your MetaMask wallet, and if you've got USTD, you've got the tether in there, and you want to buy some Bitcoin, it takes the tether out of your MetaMask wallet, pops it into the liquidity pool via their smart contract, and gives you back the Bitcoin, and you don't get the tether, you've got Bitcoin. And likewise, if you wanted to sell your Bitcoin and put it into Tether or USDC, you do the same thing. It leaves your MetaMask wallet, and then whatever you wanted to get back, stable coin, it will come back into your your MetaMask wallet. Now, the disadvantage with decentralized exchanges, the trading fees tend to be a little bit higher because you're relying on the blockchain and validators and miners and that type of thing. Where with centralized exchanges, they tend to have a sort of a fixed rate, so we know what that rate is. Now, the .com has got a lower rate than the .us. The US rate is crazy, really. So what I did was, I'm sorry to ramble, I just wanted to give you that little thing about, when you trade, I mean, obviously everything I tell you in this presentation tonight and anything that I talk about on this video, on this live stream, is not financial advice. You should always do your own due diligence. And I will say, which is clear whenever you're doing any trading, only trade what you can afford to lose. Only invest what you can afford to lose. I always say trade with pizza money. Money, if you went and bought a pizza, you took your family out, or you had a big birthday and you took lots of friends out and you spent, $100 or £100 or hundreds of pounds or even thousands of dollars on a party, at the end of that evening, that party, you couldn't get your money back, could you? Because you've either eaten it, drank it, or paid for entertainment, paid for halls, and paid for whatever other things you would do. So it's your entertainment money. It doesn't affect your life. You can afford to do it. And you say, well, I'm going to throw a big party. But after that party, you've had a good time, but you've lost your money. Trading, you should be looking at it the same way. You should only be trading what you can afford to say, well, if I do lose it, I'm not going to affect my life. Now, I don't know what your risk tolerance is. Your risk tolerance might be $100. Your risk tolerance might be $100,000. I have no idea. You have to decide what your risk tolerance is. Now, what I want to do in a moment is I'm going to share a little presentation that I've done And I want to talk to you first about ROI and risk capital. Now, if you were doing Forex trading, for example, and you opened up a Forex account and you had $10,000 in your Forex account, and you decided to say, well, I'm going to trade with $200 and I'm going to buy the dollar, thinking it's going to go up against the pound. Okay. Now, if your prediction was right, you bought today and you wanted it to go up in value, it doesn't matter what you might be saying, I'm buying gold because I think gold's going to go up. So you buy 200 quid's worth of gold. At this stage, you've got 10,000 risk capital, which is inside your Forex account. But out of that risk capital, you've actually taken a small proportion of it and you've taken $200 to buy some gold in the hope that it's going to go up. And when you sell the gold, you're looking for it to give you a higher return. So let's say you made $50. So now you'd have $10,050. Now, if the price of gold went down to zero, hypothetically, and you lost the trade, how much would you have? Well, you did have 10,000. You've taken out 200, so you've got 9,800, haven't you? Because you've just lost 200. You didn't lose the full 10,000. And JonnyBlockchain is exactly the same way. You've got risk capital, and you've got what you actually trade with. Now, ROI can only be calculated on what you actually trade with, not your risk capital. So you might buy, in your Forex, you might buy gold, you might buy oil, you might buy cocoa beans, you might buy diamonds, you might buy, Apple shares, Microsoft shares. So you've now spread out your whole risk capital on all of these different stocks and commodities and things like that, in the hope that the price goes up. Now, you may have bought gold and diamonds. Gold goes down, but diamonds goes up. Diamonds makes you set your account to say, well, I'm going to do a limit order, and when diamonds go up in value by 2%, I'm going to sell. So if they go up by 2%, you've made 2% on whatever you were trading with the diamonds. You don't take what you're trading with the gold and trading with the oil and trading with the cocoa beans and trading with, your Apple shares and your Microsoft shares and say, well, my ROI, I had 10,000 and I've just made $20. So the ROI is $20 on top of my 10,000. Well, it's not true, because your ROI came back on your diamonds. The others have not closed out yet, have they? You've not closed them out. They've either not reached the take profit or they've not got liquidated. And it's the same in JonnyBlockchain. You have risk capital that you're prepared to say, well, I'm going to risk this amount of money if I need to. And then you've got your ROI. Your ROI can only be calculated on a sale. You do a buy and you do a sale. If you buy a table and you got that table sitting in your home and you sell it on eBay, you buy it for $100 and you sell it for $110, you've made $10 on that table. But if you bought 20 tables and you sold one of them, well, you have only made a profit on one of the tables. Okay. So you've got to look at trading and understand what risk capital is and what ROI is, because I see some people do get this confused, because they say, well, my bot, actually, I've got all my bots, I've used up all my funds. I've got $500, and yet it's telling me my ROI is 50%. I haven't made 50%. Well, because my bot hasn't sold all the tokens that it bought. It's only sold one token, or it's only sold 2 tokens that it bought. Well, then the ROI is worked out on those 2 tokens. The other one is risk capital until you decide that you're going to end it early and you sell off and say, I'm going to take a loss, or you're going to let the bot work. And the bot, if you allow it on the default settings, will get to the point, in most cases, not every case, but in most cases, it should be able to trade its way out of debt. So with the, if you've got any questions, by the way, put them in the chat because we'll try and get to them. We've got half an hour I've done already. So I want to stop waffling and I want to share this presentation that I've got for you. Presentation, share the screen, and we'll do the entire screen. Bosh, there. So hopefully you can see that. I'm going to get my presentation up. Come up to the top here. Right, and I'm going to make this, hide that, and I'm going to, oh God, what happened there? Am I still sharing? There I am. Where's me? There we are. And I'm going to make this nice and big. And I can't actually see that. So I'm just going to check on my phone to make sure that you can see this. Because what I did with this is I'm, obviously because I'm, we've got multiple users, got just over 700 users. And I've got access to everybody's accounts, because when we get support tickets and things like that, we may need to go and look at accounts, and we go in and we can look at the accounts. So let me just get this on my phone to make sure that it's, skip the advert. Right, so I can see that it's there. Right, so let me just close this. Right, so risk capital. So what I did was I went into some of the accounts and I thought I'm going to look at how much risk capital they've got and how much they've made, because I know some people want me to do this. They want to say, well, how much do I need to have as risk capital and how much would I have made if I was risking a certain amount of capital? So I looked at the first account. Now, this first account had a risk capital of $649. Okay, that's what they've got inside their MetaMask wallet for this particular one, and their earnings per month is $253.70. Now they've only had an account for 2 months, and they've got $253.70 was the lower amount of the two. Okay, there was a higher amount; it was just over 301, but I took the lower amount. So they've actually made on their risk capital, even though their robot never used all of that capital. But I want to say, well, this is what they've got in their wallet, and this is what they've allocated for their robots. Their risk capital was $649. They made $253.70 in a month. That's a 39.9% ROI. Okay, so then I looked at another one. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go from sort of $500 upwards. Okay, obviously some people might only have $50, $100, but I think that you've got to try and build up your account to a reasonable amount so that you can get a decent income. So they're getting $250 a month. Now, the next one, they've got a risk capital of $1,626. Their earnings was $300. So you can see that there's just about $1,000 almost difference in risk capital, but not much difference in the earnings. So they got $299 per month. Now, what I did was, again, I took the lowest earning. Sometimes they've earned more, but this is the lowest earning. These have been in, I think it was about 3.5 months so far. And this person has got an ROI on their risk capital of 1,600 of 18.45%. Then I looked at one for just under $5,000. And again, you can see that this one right at the top there, a 649 so far, has got the best ROI. Now, why? So it's got nothing to do with how much you're trading with. It's all to do with what tokens you're trading, isn't it? Because obviously that person who's got 649, they haven't spread their risk as much. They're trading with different tokens to what the other accounts are. So this one's got 19.36%. They earned $929. Again, I took the lowest amount. Again, this account is over 3 months old. Then I moved on for one for $6,500. They made $610. So they made, another $2,000 there, and they made 300 less than the one above. So they only made 9.4% a month. And then we've got this person here that's got 7,064 in their wallet, and they've earned 469, so 6.5% for the month. So you can see here that it's irrelevant, I think, what you're trading. And I'm hoping you can see that it's irrelevant what you're trading. It's to do with what you're trading, not how much you've got. It's what you're trading. Then I got another one for just over $7. Now, if you look at the $7,000, so if you look at these two, look, 7,064, 7,700, not much difference. But the second guy has earned $1,455, a grand more than the person that's a few hundred dollars behind them, basically, in trading amounts. So they've got 18.83%. Then I looked at this one. This guy's got 8,971 earnings, $1,009 a month. That's 11.25%. And then we got this guy right at the bottom. Now we've got a few. There's not many people that have a trading risk capital, if you like, of this much. There is a few more that was, there's two guys that are trading with over 50 grand, but I didn't want to include them. But I've included this one. So 18,000, and they're earning 1,888, and that's a risk capital. So that's an ROI on the risk capital of 10.4% for the month. Now, looking at all of those ROIs, ironically, the one who's on 649 has made 39%. So, imagine if the guy that had the 18,000 was choosing the same tokens that the guy was for the $649. So if you take the average risk capital there was 6,000. So the average ROI is 16.8%, and the average earnings for all of those, because there's 8 people there. So what I've done is I've added all the earnings up, added all the ROIs up on the risk capital, and got the averages, divided them by 8, obviously, because there's 8 people that I've chosen. So the average ROI on risk capital was 16.68%. But imagine if that 649, he's got 39.9%. So if that $18,000 guy was trading exactly the same robots, he had exactly the same robots, he would have made 7,097 to opposed to 1,888. That's a 275% in income, increase in the income, because you've got 1,888 that he's earning. And if he was trading the same tokens, he mirrored the same robots that the guy is for 649, his earnings would be 7,097. So this brings us on to a good point is, if we was to do copy trading, how can we do the copy trading? That's the thing, because we don't do the risk capital calculation anywhere on the site. We do the ROI on these sales. Now, some people would like us to do the ROI on the risk capital, and maybe that's something that we could do. But, what would you pay, a copy trade to copy someone's robots if they were getting 39% a month and you're only getting 10.4%? This guy would have made an extra $5,000, wouldn't he? $5,000 extra in a month. It's just food for thought, isn't it? Now, imagine now that guy would take the lower end. That's 649. Let's say that he decided to compound that. He compounded it. Now, I'm going to exit out of here, because what I want to do is come back over to the stream here and stop streaming. Now, I wanted to show you the power of compounding, because this guy who's doing the 649, I don't think that's a big amount to be trading with, or risk capital, and yet he's made that brilliant return, that 39% on his risk capital. Now imagine that guy if he compounded. Now I don't mean switch on the compound tool button, because I don't like that compound tool button. I mean about compounding your profits into more of the same robots with higher amounts, or new robots, but compounding it. And if I look at this, okay, let me just come back to the thing, and I'm going to share my screen again, because I said that in this thing I was going to show you how to take $649 and show you how to take it to an unbelievable income. Okay, so let me share my screen. Share the screen. And we'll go to this compound calculator. So if we take the 649, okay, ignore these figures over here for the moment. So you can see this is a default one that's on here for 5 years. And we say that he got that 39.9% a month. Well, he's not actually, he's getting more than that, isn't he? Because that's his ROI for the month on his risk capital. But he's getting ROI every day, isn't he? So he would earn more. But I've just thought I'd do the conservative and say, well, if he could keep that consistency up. Now, he's done it for 2 months because his ROI was higher than that. You remember I said I took the lower ROI. Okay, so this is the lower one. And we compounded it for 12 months. And as again, I don't mean switch on that tool, the compound tool inside JonnyBlockchain. I mean compound the profits maybe into new bots, either the same bots with higher amounts in, because this guy's got a few bots running that are trading with $20 a time. Okay, so let's just click this calculate button. So that $649, if he never put no more funds towards it, would turn into $34,056 in 12 months. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that could be quite an amazing pension, couldn't it? Because imagine, you got 649 and you decided to take out 30 grand out of that. And now, instead of him trading with 649, he was actually trading with 4,000, and because he took out 30 grand and then recalculated it again. I mean, it's just mind blowing, isn't it? And he could take out 200 grand and say, well, I'm gonna put the 12 grand back in to do my bots. Now I'm approaching my 2nd year, and calculate. It's 3 years. He's over $500,000, and if he was to say, well, I'll take out the 600,000 and I'll put in the $63,000, leave that in the system, have my robots trade with that now. It's mind blowing. And this is achievable with JonnyBlockchain, because JonnyBlockchain has already been around for 9 years. We're not going anywhere. Yeah, I'm the CEO and I'm 60. All right, I could die, couldn't I? But, it's not a rug pull site, is it? It's a site where if you want to be serious about saying, if you want to be a millionaire by next Thursday, then, you excuse my French, but you're pissing in the wind, aren't you? You're an idiot if you think you're going to be a millionaire by next Thursday, because some people put in $20 and say, well, I've only earned 50 cents. So you've earned 50 cents on $20. Fuck, my eyes, brilliant. But if you want to treat JonnyBlockchain as a nest egg to grow, where you've got your what do you call it? You've got your control of your funds, because, all right, you might have control of your funds within Binance, but you certainly have if you've got them in Pancake, inside your MetaMask wallet. So imagine now you said, well, what I want to do is the trading fees are a little bit higher on Pancake Swap. So I'm going to set some bots up on Pancake, because I've definitely got full control over that. And I'll set some up inside Binance, where, if Binance go out of business, I lose my money. So I don't believe in keeping all my funds inside Binance. I like to spread it. So, if you was to sort of be serious about it and say, well, I'm just going to get on with my life, do my day job, or whether I've got a pension or whatever it is, I'll do my day job. I'm going to set aside a bit of money that I can afford. It's not going to affect my family and whatever. I'm going to tell my wife, my husband, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, whoever your partner is, you're going to tell them that what you're doing, and you're trading, you're letting a trading robot do it. And you've got to have that risk capital. You've got to have risk capital. Now, you might say, well, I've got $50 or £50 or €50 that I can afford to put in. And after I've paid my license, it's going to cost me what? If I do Binance and Pancake, it's going to cost me $50. And then you want a bit of B&B fees and that to carry out the trades. So say you're going to be looking for $100 to get started. That's out of pocket money. Then you want a bit of trading money. Well, let's say you only have $50 or £50 or €50 left, and you said, well, I'm going to do that £50, and I'm going to add to it each month, or $50, and I'm going to add to it. I'm going to put in $10 or $50 or $100, whatever you can afford, and you started to build up your risk capital to a stage where you can afford to be comfortable with your risk capital. Now, I don't believe that you're going to trade with if you're going on Pancake Swap, that you're going to start picking tokens all the time that keep rug pulling, that keep emptying the liquidity. I've only seen one do that, and it's recently done it. And I think it was called BEAI, I think it was. It's gone down to $1. Darren knows, because Darren first brought my attention to it and told me what it was. But then when we looked in it, we see it only had $1 worth of liquidity. They pulled out all the pounds and put in loads of marbles, of this coin. Now, if you're choosing multiple tokens from your choice, you could look at the trends to give you an idea, but you can't go on what's happened in the past. The past doesn't reflect future results, does it? You've got to think to yourself, well, I'm going to choose Bitcoin, I'm going to choose Ethereum, I'm going to choose Solana, I'm going to do some top coins, going to put in an amount, let the bot trade. Get a bit more money, put in an amount, let the bot trade. Different bots. Don't get greedy. Don't get that greedy where you get a bot that's like OM, for example, which does really well, or there's Tom that's doing really well now, and it's just been added to JonnyBlockchain, and it's got some crazy ROIs. Because what goes up will come down. Bitcoin drags everything up. I believe we're about to enter any moment into a quite a big bull run for Bitcoin and altcoins because of what's going on in the crypto world. If you keep up to date with all these ETFs, excuse me. So I think if you was to build up a fund, a risk capital fund, okay, and say, this is my long-term goal. I'm 60, right? So I'm retired already, if you like. I don't think I've ever done a day's work in my life, to be honest. But, I've got some businesses that I had, some offline businesses, and I've sold them, sold my shares in those. And I've got a few investments and whatnot, and you get an income from that. I get a little bit of an income from JonnyBlockchain. I get an income from my trading. I do binary options trading. I do a little bit of that each week. So I got quite a nice income coming in, but I do like my trading robots, and because they give me steady income, but I don't take the income. I just let it run, and I let it slowly build up. And I'm obviously testing new bots out and testing new strategies with the developer Danny. So my bots I don't really showcase them because I'm constantly changing because we're looking for new ways to trade, and we test it out on me. But if you was to start to build up a risk capital, now that guy was trading with $18,000 at a risk capital of $18,000. The other guy right at the bottom of the market there was trading with $649 worth of risk capital. So if you was to take what you can afford and start to build it up, and look at this as a long nest egg, okay? And if, let's just say, God forbid, I hope not, but let's say I pass away. Now, the program has got to pass away as well, hasn't he? Because the business can still run if Danny's 20 years younger than me, 19 years younger than me. So, he's in his late 40s. He's in his 40s, early 40s. I'm coming up for 60. So if Danny's still around and he's the main developer, let's face it, he's the developer that develops this. JonnyBlockchain's got a lot of years left in it. But let's say that both me and Danny were on the same aeroplane and it crashed, and JonnyBlockchain, you know, nobody could run it in the background. Nobody could fix the bugs. Your funds are still inside your wallet, aren't they? So you could just say, well, okay, I've got some tokens that I don't want, you know, because the bot bought them, but the bot's not working anymore. It's become buggy and nobody's around to fix it because both Danny and Jeremy died. You know, so you would just watch the market and wait for the price to go up and sell your tokens then. But the point is, you've got control of your funds. I don't have control of your funds. If something happens to me and Danny, we haven't got your money. Your money doesn't die with us, does it? Your money's inside your MetaMask wallet, or your money's sitting inside your Binance account. Now, if you don't see the power in that, then I don't think you should be looking at doing anything to earn online or do any type of trading whatsoever. If you've got control of your funds, that's powerful. It's really powerful. Now, JonnyBlockchain's trading robot's not going to create the market. It's only going to follow the market. It's not going to make the market. It's only going to follow the market. It's got a set of algorithms and a strategy, a trading strategy that it does. And that trading strategy has been designed to work in a bear market. Any trading robot will work in a bull market because it can buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here. But if you were in a bear market, it buys here and the price drops, it can't sell, can it? So then it buys again and the price drops again. Then it buys again and the price drops again. JonnyBlockchain's robots can handle, with the default settings, up to 83% drop in the market. Now, that 83% drop in the market has to be from here and drop in one go. But if it keeps dropping bit by bit, because every time the market goes down, you can guarantee it'll always go up a little bit. It'll go down, it'll go up a little bit. And JonnyBlockchain is designed that if it does need to buy those use a bit more of your risk capital down at the lower level, it's bought in more lots than say the one or two. You know, I showed a video the other day where that guy had 11 lots. If it finds the bottom 11 lots, it's going to start to buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell down at that price level. The price may never ever get back to what the first lot was bought at, that lot 0. It may never ever get back to there. But the bot will get into profit, or make profit, and eventually trade its way out of debt. That's the purpose of the trading strategy for a bear market. But you've got to have the risk capital for that bot to work in a bear market. Now, when we're in a bull market, you don't need to really have much risk capital, do you? It's because if you're buying Bitcoin today at $69,000 and it goes up to $71,000, well, then it's gone up in price, isn't it? You know, so it will rinse and repeat with the same amount of money. You know, the $20 or $100, it will buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. That's how it works. So I'm coming up almost for the hour. I've got 5 minutes left. So have you got any questions? It seems quiet in the room. Have you all fell asleep? What's gone on? Tell me if you're still there, because it looks like you might have all gone to sleep. So let's see if we got any questions. Always use Crypto Bubble and Coin Market Cap for tracking my coins and looking. Yeah, that's, you know, I don't use Coin Market Cap that much. I tend to use CoinGecko, Crypto Bubble, and TradingView. So TradingView, I keep an eye on the Bitcoin, and the others Coin Bubble is great to use. But what I want to do is, if I share the screen again before we go, let's get the presentation. Entire screen. There you go. And I'm going to go over to JonnyBlockchain. Here we are. So here's JonnyBlockchain. And first off, I want to show you here. Look, this is the amount of passive income that it's made for, you know, obviously it's not divided by that 7, but there's 764 users. Now, out of those 764, some people have got 1 bot, some people have got 10 bots, some people have got 40 bots, 100 bots. But those trading bots for those 764 has earned $176,000 in passive income. If you look here, successful trades, that means trades that have been closed with a profit. 98.5%. Zero. Look, zero profit means it's broke even. Negative profit, where the bot has lost you money, 1.2%, because it's a trading bot. This number's never ever going to be 100%, is it? There's times when the bot will make a loss, okay? But that's 1.2%. Now, if we come to the top and I go to the getting started section, you get this page here. There's a video there. If you haven't watched this video, then I highly recommend you do that. Below that video, you've got the Telegram group, and you've also got our YouTube channel, which is JonnyBlockchain, and there's another channel that I use. And we've got this big blue button here that says step-by-step user guide. You really need to take a bit of time and go through this guide. So this is using JonnyBlockchain with a DEX. So this is Pancake on a PC. These are the setup videos, 8 videos, okay? Says it, well, it's not actually, it's 7 videos. This one, please watch this video first. This is just a piece of information. It's not a video. The amount of people that top up their JonnyBlockchain wallet with more than what's written here. And then they say, oh, can I get my money back? Well, of course you can get your money back. But why don't they take the time to look at what's here? Setting up your Google Authenticator. This bit here, how to connect with JonnyBlockchain on your mobile, okay? Connecting your MetaMask wallet, connecting your MetaMask wallet to JonnyBlockchain if you're using it on a mobile. Connecting, how to connect MetaMask to JonnyBlockchain. Video there. If you don't have MetaMask, how to install MetaMask, how to add the Binance Smart Chain, how to add the Tether to your wallet. Now, that video there is the same for every token. It doesn't matter whether you've bought a token, the robots bought you a token. It's in your wallet and you can't see it. Watch that video because it will tell you how to add that coin, even though this one's just talking about the Tether token, but it's the same for all tokens. How to bridge from one blockchain to another. The amount of people that say, I've got Ethereum, how do I get into it? There's a video there, bridge it across. And coming down a little bit further, how does JonnyBlockchain DEX trading bot work? It shows you there how the trading bot works. Commission, did you know you've got an affiliate link inside your account where you can earn over 4 levels? You'll earn from when the person signs up and buys their license, you'll earn a percentage, but you'll also earn from every profitable trade that they do. If you invite a few people, you'll earn from them making, imagine you've got that guy that's got 18,000 or 54,000 and he's making, what was it, $1,500 a month, $1,800 a month. You'd get a percentage of that paid to, percentage, because he's got to pay software service fee. You'd get a percentage of that software service fee paid to you that you can put into other trading robots or spend yourself. Coming down a little bit further, getting set up with Binance. It's all there. It's all there. Amount of people that say to me, how do I see the trades that are on the chart? How do I see the trades that are on the chart? There's a video there. Coming down, bot settings, understanding bot settings, and if you've got errors and all that type of stuff, it's all here. And then I've got this down the bottom here, earnings calculator. The earnings calculator is a calculator. It's not, you don't withdraw from the site. Your money's already in your account, so there's nothing to withdraw, what the trends are, what the balances mean. Down here, 1 lot, 2 lot strategies, 3 lot strategies. How does the bot work in a bear market? How much money do I need to trade, for my bot to trade? Now, how much money do you need for your bot to trade? The videos are there. I've got another couple of videos here about some on-ramp and off-ramping. If you want to have, these are crypto-friendly banks. I use these all the time, And then I've got a link here for Crypto Bubble, DEX Screener, and Trading View. There is everything you need inside that user guide. All you got to do is go and have a look. There's no rocket science here. You don't have to be a mathematician or anything. I've made those videos. I've taken the time to make those videos because I want you to be able to use JonnyBlockchain easily. And you ain't, if you're not watching those videos. You know, it says there, is the audit? You know, this is a good question here, right? Is the audit? Well, the audit was, we wanted to get an audit done on the smart contract. So the smart contract, anybody can go and look at the smart contract, but they want, believe it or not, they want, I forget what it was now, it was $20,000 to read 16 lines of code. $20,000. Now, if we look at if we come over here, let's share the screen, because I want to make sure people are clear with this. All right, let's share the entire screen. Because some people, I see them, they think I'm a multi-millionaire from JonnyBlockchain. So if we look at this, right, if we take this amount here, okay, take that amount there, and we clear this and we put that in there and we times that by 25% equals, that's $44,000 that the company would have charged from that amount there, 25%. Now, out of that, we give away, I think it's we give another 25% of that away, you know. So if I now minus 25% again, $33,000 that we've earned from this trading robot since we started doing it back here in 2019. You know, we're not making millions out of this, are we? Because we don't have enough users, and at the moment, you know, we cannot afford to pay $20,000 for an audit. If somebody wants to go and look at the code and say, I've had my programmer look at the code and I can see that there's a withdraw button there that they can withdraw my funds, then post it everywhere you like on social media. The code is there open for everybody to see. And an audit would be just getting a programmer to look at it and saying, yep, they can't withdraw your funds, and send it to another wallet. So at the moment, no, we're not doing the audit on the smart contract. It is something that we wanted to do, but regards the Binance bot, well, there's nothing to audit, is there? Because you're telling us via your API keys, you know, that we can't withdraw. You go into Binance, you set up your API keys, and there's a box there that says allowed to withdraw. Well, you don't tick that, do you? So there's nothing we can withdraw there. So the audit was for the smart contract, and we're not getting that done at the moment because we can't afford to pay out the $20,000 that they want to read. I think it's 16 or 18 lines of code inside the smart contract, because the robot code, nobody can see it. The robot algorithm, nobody can see. It's the smart contract that you would get audited to make sure that the funds cannot be withdrawn out of your wallet and sent to another wallet, which they can't, you know. There would be no point to that for us. But a good question. So no, we're not doing anything with that at the moment. A few months ago, a YouTube interviewed you, and you said that the company would. Yeah, I've just answered that. Yeah. It's the same person. Do apologise. Yeah. Well, it was something. You know, we don't mind paying $2 or $3 grand to have an audit done, but not $20,000. We've only made. We haven't made $33,000. Well, obviously we get the $25, but we pay out a percentage of that as well. But, you know, we've got hosting to pay, we've got upkeep, we've got staff to pay, you know. So at the moment we can't afford it to do that audit. If my bot is stagnant, let's just show this, because I'm not quite sure what this is. If my bot is stagnant because it's not in profit, do I need to add more lots to get it to sell? Well, the first thing I'd ask, and really, is why is your bot stagnant? Have you deleted some of the lots? Are you using the default settings? Because I've heard people say, oh yeah, I'm using the default settings, and then when I go and look at their bots, they're not using the default settings. They've changed the settings, so the bot will only do what you tell it to do. I don't think, as far as I'm aware, at the moment there is any bot inside JonnyBlockchain that's used 39 lots. So if your bot's used up 39 lots, which is the default setting, so it's bought and bought and bought and bought and bought and bought 39 times, then, and it's still dropping after that 83%, then yeah, you could add some more lots to the end. But if you've changed it from the default setting, well, then obviously you would either recover it back to the default setting, or you can sit and wait, just leave it and start up other bots and say, well, I'll leave that, because if you're putting in funds, let me just say this as well, if you're putting in money that you need and you say, oh, I need that money, then don't put it in. Don't start trading robots. My wife, I told this story before. She put in $5,000, I think it was, into a bank account, and they said they'd pay her the interest that was made into her account monthly, but she couldn't touch the $5,000 for 5 years. So she got a little dividend every month from the fund. It wasn't much. It was peanuts. She got something like less than 1% a year from this investment, but she couldn't touch her money for 5 years, but she'd get the dividend. So you've got to look at your trading bots the same. If you're putting money in and you say, well, I want to get the money out in a month's time, then you shouldn't be trading. It's not for you, You've got to look at it long term. You've got to say, well, I want to get to a stage where I can earn an income. And I don't know what that income would be, whether it's $10 a day, $50 a day, $100 a day, or $5,000 a day. I don't know. Then obviously you need to build up a fund to suit what your expectations are. If your expectations are to put in $100 and you're going to get, $500 a month income, then you're a donkey. There's something wrong with your head. Not referring to this person whose message I got on there. I'll take that off, so I'm not talking to you. But, if you've got bots that are stagnant, yes, you can add lots on the end. But you should really be setting up your bots, letting them go. And you can put less lots. You can overtrade. I overtrade. I know Dave Vaughan was overtrading, and I think he started to pull back and not overtrade as much. So yeah, you've got to build up your funds so that you can get a decent income. And you've seen it. I showed you there, and I'll show you again. I'll get to the big slide here. I'll get to this big slide. Let's share the screen again. Let's share the screen, entire screen. So look, this is so this person's got a risk capital. So that means that's what they've got in their wallet, okay? And they're making $250 a month on that, $649. Now you've got this guy at the bottom here, he's got $18,000 in his wallet, and he's making $1,800 a month. So you've got to keep it real, haven't you? You've got to keep it real. You really got to be sitting somewhere between here and here. And then it depends on what trading robots you're trading. I like to trade more robots than less robots. But again, you might have a different strategy. But that's why we've got that Telegram group. We want people to, say, well, I'm trading with this amount. I'm trading with this amount. This is how much I'm risking. You don't need this. Some people seem to get negative, don't they? Oh, he's trading with 18 grand and he's only made $2,000. Well, put 18 grand in the bank and tell me how much you'd make after a year. It's not rocket science, is it? You've got to keep realistic. You really have. So I know you said you wouldn't be adding any more decks. No, that's not true. I said I wouldn't be adding any more centralized exchanges. We've got no plans to add centralized exchanges. So, oh yeah, sorry, you do say centralized at the end there. Curious to the reason for that. Well, the reason why we don't want to add any more centralized exchanges at the moment, purely because I don't trust them. I've been caught 2 times now. Cryptopia, I lost a big chunk of my portfolio in Cryptopia, never got it back. I lost money in BlockFi, not much, but a few thousand in BlockFi, went out of business. I lost money in FTX, went out of business. and stole my money. 3 centralized exchanges. I've traded on PancakeSwap for the best part of, I don't know, I think more or less as it launched. 5, 6 years. I don't know how long, Pat, but I've been in the crypto space for, since 2013, 2014 is I've been in the crypto. So 10 years I've been in crypto. And I've never lost my money in a decentralized exchange like PancakeSwap. I've never lost my money. I've never lost my money from my MetaMask wallet. So that's why we wanna develop more decentralized. We want to go for more blockchains. We want to go for more, because at the moment we're using Binance Smart Chain. I'd like to go to Base. I'd like to go to Solana. So we want to go on to more blockchains, but because obviously then you open up for lots more liquidity pools. We also need to do, because our robot works with V2 PancakeSwap's liquidity pools, but now they're on V3 and V4. The V2 will always work because some of them liquidity pools are locked up for like 100 years or something like that, So V2 will always work, but we got to do another robot for V3 and V4. Then we want to do for more, more blockchains. That's what I'd like to see, more blockchains where there's even less, that TON. I don't know whether you're aware of that, TON. Yes, Solana sounds like that. Exactly, Dave. Solana, TON, Base, because the fees are lower, aren't they, on Base? There's also, I'd like to look at Pulse Chain. I'm a big investor into Pulse, so I'd like to look into Pulse Chain. We were going to be looking at, we started JonnyBlockchain out, but again, the person rugged the money, and that was Vulcan. We was going to do that, with Richard, what was his name? I don't want to say the wrong name. Brian Legend, but it stole everybody's money. We were ready to do with Pulse, with that Vulcan, but it just never came about. So we're looking for established chains, really. We're looking to add established chains, but we're doing a lot of work in the background. We're still working on the Bitcoin saver. We're still monitoring. We're early days in the DexBot. Early days. We've been testing it for 18 months, but we've only really had users coming in the last 3 months. 3 to 4, 6 months now, isn't it? Of course, yeah, we're June. So 6 months. It was the back end of last year. So 6, 7 months, the DexBot has been really live for the public. So we've got to collect the data, and the more people that trade, the more people that join, the more data we can collect and the more improvements we can make. But we want to move more decentralized. We've got no plans to add any more centralized exchanges. So I don't know if there's any more questions, guys. We've gone over the hour, and I don't mind as long as you don't. So let me just see. Always use Crypto Bubble. Yeah, I've seen that. I'm just checking the chat now to see if there's no more questions. So what? If you've got a question, let's get it in. I know it's a little bit of delay, but what I'll do is I'll wait another 3 or 4 minutes to see when is V2 version coming out. When you say V2 version coming, I don't know what you're talking about. When have we said that V2, Matt? What do you mean by 2.0 version? Because when we launched JonnyBlockchain's Dex robot that trades with PancakeSwap, that was 18 months ago. And ever since that point, we've been constantly updating the code, constantly updating. We're still doing it today. So there's never a bit where we say, right, that old robot, we're dumping it, and we're bringing out this new robot. All we do is we just keep on checking the data and tweaking and moving forward like that. We will then eventually, as I say, add more blockchains. So I'm not sure what version 2 is, because we're on, I don't know what version. We're on about 300 now. I don't know, because we're always doing updates. At the moment, we're working on the Bitcoin saver, and I haven't done any videos on it or anything like that because it's not 100% finished on what I'd like it to be. When it is, I shall put videos in the user guide, promote it, and say what it's all about. We haven't done any. If you look in your back office there, you've got the limit order bot. We haven't done anything on that. We just haven't had time. So we want to do that bot next, work on the limit order bot. And then which allows you to trade crypto with crypto, if you like, well, like Bitcoin with Ethereum, that type of thing. Not a stable coin involved at all. So that's what the limit order bot will be able to do. And then we're going to be looking at adding more blockchains, really, and anything else anybody asks, really. If there's something that somebody wants done and they think it's a good idea, send in a support ticket. We'll look at it if we think it's a good addition to add. I mean, Dave Vaughan's had loads of suggestions that we've added over the years. I mean, Dave's been with the business since 2014, you know. So if you've got an idea, anybody's got an idea, then you should pop in a support ticket and say, can you pass this on to Jeremy, and the team will pass it on to me and we'll look at it. Not saying we're going to do it, but, you know, we'll definitely look at it. We're always looking to do improvements. That's what we want to do. So if we haven't got any more questions, because it doesn't look like we have, I've got literally, I think, another minute. I said I'd hang on for another 2 or 3 minutes to see if there's any more questions coming in. So if you've got a question, then let me know. If not, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. And I keep saying I'm going to do more of these live broadcasts, but as I said at the beginning of this, my wife's expecting our third baby and it's going to be due any moment. Trust Wallet, Exodus Wallet, then Pancake. Well, we're already on Pancake. We're already doing the Pancake. Trust Wallet, we may add Trust Wallet. I don't know about Exodus because I think Exodus is more of an app rather than something that it's got to be a wallet that works in a browser, not an app that you have on your thing. So I don't know. Does Exodus? I've got Exodus Wallet, but it's an app on my Mac computer or my phone, but I don't think it has. It doesn't interact like MetaMask does. But you know, certainly we would look into it. I'll look into it, but we're not looking to add any more wallets at the moment. MetaMask is a great wallet. There's nothing wrong with MetaMask. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It's been tried and tested. Problem is with Trust Wallet is I've got a Trust Wallet, but I don't interact with other websites with it because you've got lots of I don't know with Trust Wallet, but I don't think extra wallets. If you can't set up a MetaMask wallet, then you know it's not for you. But I don't see what difference it is if you've got a Trust Wallet or a MetaMask wallet. You can keep your money in a MetaMask in your Trust Wallet if that's what you like, but set your bot up to trade with your MetaMask wallet. You know, and I would always recommend everybody sets up a completely new account for their MetaMask so it's just solely for JonnyBlockchain. Thank you for the transparency, Jeremy, and a great thing. So thank you for your feedback there. Much appreciated. What we got here with this one. Congratulations, Jeremy, on the new bundle of joy coming your way. Yeah, next Friday. Next Friday is what is booked in. She's having a C-section, you know. So that's all good. So hopefully, guys, that's all it. Thanks very much for watching, and have a great rest of the evening or afternoon or morning, whichever part of the world you're in. And I shall keep the videos coming, and I will, once the new baby's here and we're settled into a few months after 2-3 months after the baby's born, then I'm going to be doing regular broadcasts, and I'm going to do them maybe different times a day, you know, because I'm in the UK and appreciate that people in America or on other parts of the world can't always get on these. So have a great evening, guys. And it's 10:20 in the evening. Good night.